did it. So go support him now. Go on over there and do it, because that's what y'all encourage. That's what you encouraged him to do. Take y'all's ass over there and give that man some fucking money. We'll see the fucking truth. Y'all won't support him because there ain't shit in it for you.
So that W said that we wouldn't support, right? Now, because remember, these people do not want us waking up. I keep telling you guys that their lifestyle is predicated on.
Hello? Hello? Pisces season is almost over, but it doesn't matter because I'm still celebrating my birthday for the whole month. So yeah, headed to Atlanta. We have like 50 more minutes till our destination. Blacks are not gonna support him now. We always basing up something thinking that Mr. Tenderism was being treated like a slave. So she was like, well, y'all go support him now. And looks like he's getting a lot of support. I mean, from what I'm seeing, he's getting a lot of support. So she can take her comments elsewhere. So yeah, I was listening to it, so let me get it back on. Let y'all hear what the lady said first. So I gotta be fair.
There's a W woman, which is his biggest hater of all. She came online and said some crazy stuff, man. Listen, she is living. She came up there and said this.
Coming to you as me, just me, not sassy and all the, just me. And I want you to know everything that happened with Mr. Tenderism and the destination barbecue is 100% your fault, social media's fault, and this app's fault. Everything was fine until the black folk found out.
Not the black folk.
He didn't own that barbecue restaurant, and he had a white slave master behind him, forcing him to do everything. I bet you that relationship with him was just damn fine. But y'all,
that's what all y'all slave owners think.
That wasn't his restaurant, and all the shit that Keith Lee and think all the that went on in this fucking app, you destroyed that. You destroyed it.
I didn't make a video, but
and
I guess we all
like,
destroyed
oh, this white man's gonna steal it. They've been stealing all of our inventions for years. They've been stealing everything from us for years. Just because somebody may know how to do something, they also may not know how to go about doing it. Okay?
That may be true.
I can have the brain power to think of a remote control ceiling fan, but I don't have the engineering experience, the backing, the money, and all that other brain power that goes into it. Okay, so if that was the equal partnership, y'all fucking ruined it. You ruined it based on fucking race.
But it wasn't an equal partnership. That man
probably left on his own. Mr. Tenderism, y'all got under his skin. He thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my own. I'm gonna go do my own. Let's see if y'all fucking support him now. Let's see if you show up for that old man and buy his stuff, crowdfund for him, GoFundMe's for that man to make his own restaurant. Because I guarantee you won't. Because there's no fucking racism in it for you. There's no fucking clicks and views in it for you if the boogeyman fucking white man is not behind the scenes running the game. Y'all did this to that fucking old man. And possibly a great friendship that him and that Destination Smokehouse owner had. You fucking did it. So go support him now. Go on over there and do it, because that's what y'all encouraged. That's what you encouraged him to do. Take y'all's over there and give that man some fucking money. We'll see the.
I can't read comments yet.
Y'all
I'm driving
because there ain't shit in it for you. Know.
So that W said that we wouldn't support him. Right?
So I'm gonna pause before he leave his reaction or whatever. First of all, I want to say we didn't do anything, ma'am, because people were just going to Destination Steakhouse to get the barbecue. Unc was going viral, on TikTok, talking about, it's tender and, falling off the bone, all that. Keith Lee, a food reviewer, which is what he do. He go to different states and maybe countries, I don't know, and review food and, rate it, right there. He normally send his family or somebody, a friend or whatever, somebody in to get it, because people know who he is. And so, he don't want to, somebody to make his food differently than what they would make just a normal person, so he sends a regular person in there to get the food for him, and then he reviewed or whatever, he bring the review. So he, basically about the review that basically, that the rib or whatever, it fell off the bone because they cut it off the bone, which, okay, whoop-de-doo, whatever. He wasn't making a big deal about that. He said I can't remember which, it was something he had he really, 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 really liked. It wasn't the rib. He liked the rib. He was like, it was a little dry. It was another meat he had. Maybe the the sausage. I can't remember, but he loved it. Anyway, he wanted to give Unc $5,000 or whatever because Unc was the one going viral. Security, for whatever reason, wanted to say Unc was busy. And, Keith Lee didn't want to leave the money. He didn't want to give it, to security or whatever. And security didn't want to take it. I don't know if they always want to hold a black man down, and security was black, which, just let you see how we do our own people. But anyway, he didn't get to leave him the money or whatever. They said Unc was in an interview or whatever, just lying. Unc didn't know nothing about it based off how his reaction was when they sat down with him after the fact and let him know, what was going on, trying to make it like he don't need no handouts, whatever. So anyway, so Keith Lee ended up giving $1,000 to pay for people food or something like that. That's what he ended up doing since he couldn't get the money to Unc. And that was that. And his review went on, and his review went viral, wherever, and information ended up coming out that, okay, Unc was just like a cook or whatever, which is fine. Okay, be a cook, but it's like Unc is the reason that your business is what it's doing. Everybody, and it don't gotta be his business. That's not the point. I don't feel that it had to be Unc's business, but I felt like, okay, he need partnership in this. If you gonna trademark tenderism, then Unc need to own the trademark, not you. Things like that, little slick things like that people do to try to take over, something that you made popular or whatever. No, Unc didn't build his restaurant, but that restaurant was nothing but a coffee shop before Unc came through with his grilling skills or whatever and made it, you know, pop or whatever. And then, you know, his personality on TikTok. You didn't do that as the owner. And it's okay to be in the back and be the owner of something. But you didn't want to do that. You wanted to come to the front and whatever and do what you do. And now your lines is looking like a water park in the wintertime, empty. Nobody is coming to your restaurant because you played the game wrong. So that's what I want to say. But from the looks of it, look like getting a lot of support. Look like he been going to different parts of Texas and South Carolina and, you know, all kind of places. So it looks like he's getting a lot of support. It looks like he also owns the trademark of tenderism now, because a lawyer could see right through the owner of Destination Smokehouse and went on and trademarked it and gave it to Unc, you know, for free, because he knew that they were going to try to do that. And Lord and behold, what they did. Went and trademarked tenderism like it was his idea. So, yeah. So, that's my reaction to that. Now, let's see what this gentleman whose video I was listening to react, like what he got to say.
So that W said that we wouldn't support it, right? Now, because remember, these people do not want us waking up.
Get out of the clouds, Pisces. Look alive.
I'm not in the clouds.
On our dysfunction,
And
they
I
don't
am
want us
looking
to wake
alive.
up. She see us as scum. She don't see us as human beings, right? You see how she was talking? But listen, man, they act like they're your friends and they're not your friends, right? So now, you know, he's raised 102,000 out of 110K. So
102,000, lady.
Right?
Looks like he's getting some support to me.
This was on his GoFundMe. So black people have been supporting them. They've been showing up. They've been showing up and they've been showing out, right? On his Instagram page, his GoFundMe, he's been winning. And then we get over here. It says Walter, also known as Mr. Tenderism, is a beloved figure in the California food scene. In 2020, he partnered with a small shop. So, you know, we read this. He ended up getting fired from the restaurant. And start touring the world. But then what we did was we put that love on it, right? But this is a testament to show you who we are and what we can do, right? What we can do, man. So, you know, when they get down here, it says keep visited after when food critic
we're in Georgia now, y'all.
National attention surged, and many people were surprised to learn Walter was the face of the restaurant, not the owner, igniting conversations about viral fame and ownership. Soon after the spotlight intensified, Walter was ultimately fired from the restaurant he helped make famous, right? And listen, people showed up, and now we see him cooking for the stars, and that W woman is upset. Black people are happy. No, we can't keep these N-words happy, right? And she come out and say, we're not going to support him, we're not going to do this. He should have stayed in his place and kept making that W man rich, right? So now,
he should have stayed
Nick is out here. He's still making his videos. He even got his mother in the videos now.
And only my mom. Look at that, New York representing.
Look, y'all, he trying to do anything.
Everybody knows it got started with her. I love this woman so much. She's here today. Leah, lamb good. I need to hear from you.
Oh gosh, it was wonderful. I remember the days when my mother would make it every week, once a week, lamb chops and mashed potatoes.
Let me pause and let y'all hear what's going on. So now the owner of Destination Steakhouse has his mother in the videos with him, basically saying she started with him. Now, you ain't been had your mother in the videos. Now all of a sudden, you know, he trying to, I don't know, I guess he's trying to cater to the old white folks now. I don't know, and that's okay. You know, you need to ask for forgiveness from God, you know, and, you know, I don't want you to, you know, not have. But if you was trying to make Unc not have, then the same karma, you know, God will deal with you, you know, but rebrand your business how you want to do it. But y'all, now he trying to put his mother in the videos, y'all. It's funny.
Week, lamb chops and mashed potatoes.
We need mashed potatoes next.
Brought back some great memories.
Oh.
Yes,
Cool.
Really good.
You like it with the sweet glaze?
I prefer it without.
Okay.
Yes.
We serve it both ways. Yes. Tastes more like a steak, right? I thought. Yeah.
Yes. Juicy, tender.
Ragu.
Yeah.
A lovely mom here, and of course we're holding up some new merch. As you see, tender. tendernism, as you guys know, and then logo on the sleeve. This is for some family. But I love you, Mom. I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you. I love you too.
You wanted to tell me something, didn't you?
Not on camera.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Thank you. See you guys.
Are you the kind of person who knows?
How do he think he finna get away with selling tendernism merch? How? He gonna holler out to, he gonna try to mention this is for family. No, don't try to say it's for family. We know you selling it because you said it's merch. Merchandise. Merchandise gets sold. Wow, y'all. The nerve of people.
Things like you can get a domain from Squarespace, not just a website.
Love you too.
You wanted to tell me something, didn't you?
Not on camera.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Thank you. See you guys.
Bro, really, and Mr.
Another
Tendernism,
Coca-Cola
they proved that if
warehouse
the culture
thing, I
wanted
think,
to, we could put
where they make
everybody.
Coca-Cola at,
Mr.
y'all.
Tendernism
I
was
may take
dealing
my
with them
kids there
folks.
and let them
Everybody
taste
was
all the
saying what they
different
were
flavors
saying.
of
And the
Coca-Cola
minute
while
he
we're here
decided to walk
tomorrow.
away, an
We got a
attorney came
competition
and
today.
stepped up, made sure he got the trademark, made sure this man had a restaurant. The man was just on national TV doing an interview. People still hiring him. He making content. He seen himself. Not only that, the culture helped put him on. Walter Johnson is the ultimate success story. Now, he was on Earn Your Leisure last week, and he talked about being from Indiana and living in different places around the country and traveling to different places to put spices together. He's been to New York City. He's been to Philadelphia. He went down to New Orleans, Mississippi. He's been to all these places over the years, right? Over the years. And he learned how to cook meat. He learned how to cook poultry. He's been into different kitchens across the country over the last decades, right? And he went to different places and he would combine spices and have the secret sauces, right? And when you see Nick do videos, Nick said it took him 2 years to get him to cook those oxtails because he was trying to tell Nick, yo, we can do this, we can do that, right? And Nick says that if it wasn't for him, none of this thing wouldn't have happened. Now he's cooked in kitchens around the country, right? But he never got his big break. His big break didn't happen until he got in his advanced age, and he never gave up. This is like the ultimate success
That's
story.
why you don't
Then
need to
on
give
top of
up.
that, Black community,
Guys,
right?
come
Give yourself a pat on the back, right? Because you just displayed and showed the power that you actually have when you want to exhibit it. You have way more power than you believe. Let me tell you something. That W woman behaving like that is more significant than you understand. Because that's how they feel when you start waking up.
Yeah.
They're used to you being in a subordinate position.
And I agree that it's not all, it is some, you know, it's probably most. Because, you know, there was some W's that helped us, you know, the slaves during the Underground Railroad and during the times where freed slaves were still treated like they were still slaves, and, you know, even when sharecroppers, you know, would try to be treated as a slave.
Who the hell do you think you are?
But yeah, they wanted to
Get
like,
back in your position, N-word. That's what she.
and like, you got your nerves. Like, who do you think you are? You animal. You don't have the right to have more than me. You don't have the right to have this money. You don't even have the right to just have a decent life because of the color of your skin, or because when we were here first, you were made through us. A black woman is the only woman that can create any color. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she was like, the way she was talking, she wanted him to feel. That's what it was. She definitely wasn't using that. If she was using reverse psychology against us to come on there and, you know, maybe she really liked Unc, and, you know, so she came on there acting like, yeah, y'all did this to him. Watch, he ain't gonna be nothing because of y'all. When y'all could have just been quiet and let him continue to be a slave and let the slave owner continue to pay him nothing and use and abuse him. That's y'all fault. Because now he gonna be out on the streets and not gonna have nowhere to work, nowhere to live, no car, no nothing because of y'all. But then, then he's got the support. He got $102,000 in his GoFundMe from his $110,000 goal. A lawyer went on and had trademarked tenderism before the actual owner of Destination Steakhouse got to do it, so he secured that. And he traveling the world. He done been cooking all over the world. He has a lot of support, so so if she was using reverse psychology, guess what? It worked, because the people are supporting Mr. Mr. Tenderism, and I'm glad that he's getting that support. I'm glad he was getting that support, because I feel like I was done the same way when I was let go as a teacher. When you're liked, or when you're trying to do above the things that they want you to do, for the kids, they just want you to focus on the standards. They really could care less if the child really can read or if they really learning. They just want to hit the standard. Then they start looking at you like, so she thinks she better than us. She thinks she can come in here and make these kids learn when I wasn't able to. Oh, no, she not gonna do that. So then they try to put dirt on your name, and and all that kind of stuff. And then they try to find little things to try to get you wrote up about. But the write-ups never happen. You're getting praised the whole time. You're getting good observations in your unannounced or your announced observations, with the principal, that the principal give you. They give you announcements where what day they're going to come. You may not know what period, but you know what day they're going to come. And then on the unannounced, you don't know when they're going to come. They just come. You may know the month or whatever, but you're not going to know, when they come, and whatever you need to be doing, what you need to be doing. You need to be teaching all the time, or some type of learning, experience, which that was something that I always tried to do in the classroom. I remember one time she came in my class. It was on Wednesday, like small group Wednesdays, and I had 3 small groups in my class going on at the same time. You're wondering, like, look at you going over above and beyond. No, it wasn't even about going above and beyond. It was about, I had 30 plus students. I think I had 33 students in my first year, maybe 34. I had 30 plus students in every block, and I had 4 blocks. So trying to just have one small group, what a small group of what, 15? While the other 20 doing something, like, that's not a small group. So I figured out something that we could do where I could have 3 small groups going on, and the kids could kind of facilitate the other 2 groups on their own, and then the third group, or the first or the second, depending on the rotation, they came and saw me, and we elaborated on the 2 groups that they had already went to. Like, the first group that they were, okay, let's go in rotation if you came to me first. So if you came to me first, you may have learned about what we're talking about. So we may have did a reading exercise and answered a couple of questions about what we read. So let's say we were talking about rocks. So with me, you would come and learn about what type of rocks we're learning about today. And then after that, after you learn about the type of rocks that you're going to do, then you may go to the next group, and you're going to choose a rock. Hold on, y'all. Hello?
Yo.
What's up? Alright, y'all, I'm back. So, and then, so she shouted me out in the, the group with all the teachers of the school, like, shout out to Miss Mayo, and I went into her classroom. She had 3 small groups going, and none of these. Then, you know, it was another time where she was like, y'all, we got an author in the building. And, you know, she shouted me out for being an author of my children's book, my son's book, Shiloh Skating Adventures, that I wrote or whatever. And it's on Amazon. You can go purchase it for my baby. And, you know, and I was going to help other teachers see how easily they could publish a book, whether they wanted it to be an educational book, a children's book, an adult book, whatever, you know, an e-book, whatever they wanted to do. And then, you know, things like that. So I felt like maybe she was making people target me and maybe not know, or maybe know. I don't know, you know. I don't know, but I know, you know. So anyway, so then they tried to say that I made a drink, like I made a cup in my classroom, like a drinkware, because y'all know I make shirts, cups, mugs, tumblers, hats, like anything, a bag, a purse. I can design pants, anything, I can do all that. So they said that I had made a cup in my class, which is impossible because the sublimation machine is at my house, and definitely not bringing no big old 70-pound printer to the school. So that was all a lie. And then I wasn't even able to even like press the design onto the cup because I didn't even have all the tools, you know, that I needed. So that was a lie. And then to say that I watched kids fight in my classroom and I recorded it and I didn't try to break it up, that was the most like, wow. I don't even let my own children fight. I'm a mother of 6. I don't even let my own children fight, let alone somebody else's child, because I know fighting can lead to somebody no longer being on this earth. A 12-year-old little girl, prime example. I cannot remember her name, so please forgive me. Her family, you know, I just can't remember her name, but the 12-year-old girl that had just moved to her neighborhood maybe some months before or whatever, and she was obviously getting bullied by this girl that rode her bus. For whatever reason, the girl was bullying her, so then everybody decided to get off at the little girl's bus stop, while the bus driver, being the adult, did not intervene and say, oh no, this is not y'all bus stop, y'all not getting off this bus. You know, I don't know why, but anyway, everybody got off the bus, including the girl who fought her, who also, that wasn't her bus stop as well. So I guess they arguing back and forth. They arguing back and forth, and then it lead to, they end up, the girl basically saying, she put her hands on me, she gonna get beat up, whatever, pretty much, because okay, she's tired of getting bullied. So okay, they get to fighting or whatever, and the girl gets slung on the ground, I guess real hard. I don't know if she hit her head or what, but the girl gets slung down on the ground. I don't know if her head got hit with her Stanley Cup or what, I don't know. And you know, it ended up getting broken up, or they end up getting split apart or whatever. And then you hear an adult in the background telling the girl who bus stop it is, telling her, now take your A home. Like, lady, first of all, who are you? And second of all, you know all these kids don't get off at this bus stop, so why are you targeting the new girl who's clearly getting bullied, telling her to take her tail home, when you should have been telling all these other kids out here? And so the girl started walking home, and then all of a sudden she hit the ground. And then so her friend, luckily, thank God, she had a friend, you know, even if the person wasn't her friend, but just somebody that was willing to go run to her parents' house and let her parents know, like, your daughter has just collapsed, we don't know what's wrong, she just got the fight, Her mother was able to, you know, run to her, whatever. The ambulance came, they took her to the hospital, and the little girl ended up being brain dead. Now, are we going to charge this girl that was bullying her with murder? Are we going to charge her as an adult? And some people may say, yeah, we're going to do that. But then some people may say, okay, she was just a child, she need another chance. So it's like, you know, where do we go from there? The girl's parents who lost the child is not going to think that, okay, this child or this person deserves another chance. They're going to say, they targeted my daughter, they took my daughter from me, then okay, their life needs to be taken as well. And then some people may be, you know, oh, well, she just was a child and they just got to fight, and No one knew that the fight was going to lead to the girl being lead to the girl, being brain dead and being unalive. Exactly. We don't know what fights are going to lead to. That's why we shouldn't do them unnecessarily. Now, if you're protecting yourself like the girl was doing, okay, like, don't let nobody put their hands on you. But I'm saying, like, try to get out of the situation if you can, or if you're the bully, stop being a bully, because that's what it leads to. And nowadays, these kids, they like to fight, like play fight. And I never understood, like, what you mean you play fighting with your friends? Like, these supposed to be your friends, people that you love and hold dear, or your siblings. We just play fighting. No, y'all swinging hard. Y'all got fist out. Y'all getting black eyes and scratches and bruises. And no, that's not play fighting. We don't do that. So but that's what this generation alpha, I don't know what they call y'all, but the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, that's all they want to do. The 20-something-year-olds, all they want to do is just pull out a weapon, because they don't know how to fight. And like, it's just real sad. And I was the one that was like, no, y'all not finna fight. Nope, y'all not about to go to the bathroom to try to fight. Just because it's out of my sight, I know that it's finna happen. I'm not finna let that happen. If y'all leave out of my room, y'all all getting rolled up. Those will be the things that I will be telling my students. Not, well, as long as I don't see it. No. If y'all go to the bathroom, first of all, I told you you're not even going to the restroom. So if you go to the bathroom after I said no, and then no, I'm writing you up and I'm going to tell. So for them to try to say that I recorded a fight and didn't intervene and call me unbecoming of the teaching profession, no. That's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. Metro Nashville Public Schools, that's what we're not going to do. So I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. You're not going to destroy my name. You can have your job. If you don't want me ever working in Metro again, that's your loss, not mine. Trust. I was valedictorian of my high school in Metro. Every school that I went to was a Metro school. I went to Caldwell Elementary School. I went to Bellshire Elementary School. I went to Jerry Baxter before it was the Jerry Baxter that I worked at. I went to the old one. Then I went to East Junior High. Then I went to Maplewood 4 years and was valedictorian #1 in the class. Was homecoming queen runner-up. Was most intellectual. Like, was vice president of the National Honor Society. Vice president of the Beta Club. No, I was part of Beta Club and I was vice president of the National Honor Society. Like, I was a part of positive things. I played basketball. I ran track. I was a cheerleader for all 4 years. I was a majorette for 1 year. I was a color guard for another year. Like, I was a positive role model. So I'm not the one to have these kids out here fighting, because I don't want my kids out here fighting. I don't want nobody bullying my children. I don't want my children out here being a bully. So that's not the type of teacher that I was. So for them to try to put that jacket on my name and think that that's going to stand, nope, it's not going to stand. But like I said, you can keep your job, but you're going to wish that I kept my job, because you're going to pay. You're definitely going to pay, because I got all my receipts. To say, 1 week I didn't have a lesson plan. Like, what? The lies. I was getting help from a seasoned teacher, a 25 plus teacher, an actual science teacher in the same grade level that I was teaching, the one of the top science teachers in the district. Like, what are you talking about? 1 week she didn't have a lesson plan. First of all, if it was 1 week, y'all had teachers that claimed y'all claimed was the top level teacher that didn't have a lesson plan the whole year. So we're not gonna even get on that. But yeah, don't let nobody try to dirty up your name, and don't let nobody tell you when you can't respond. Like, you respond in your own time and when you feel like you need to respond. Don't let nobody rush you to respond, and don't let nobody tell you to take your time to respond. If you want to go ahead and respond immediately, you do that. If you want to, take your time and gather, things and gather your, composure, because you may be a passionate person like me and get passionate, then they try to call you an angry, aggressive woman when you're just passionate about what you're talking about because you're speaking truth, and somebody is trying to defame you or put bad things on your name, just like how they do on here on YouTube, try to call me a scammer, scam boss. Where is the proof that I scammed anyone? There isn't none, and I'll wait. Y'all been saying that for 4+ years. I've had my travel business for 10 years. I don't even work the do-it-yourself credit business no more. Do I have access to it? Yes, I do. But I'm saying, like, do I promote it? No, I don't. If you want to join it, bam, you know what the link is. You can click the link and get started. But I've been focused on building my YouTube channel. I've been focused on building my merch, showing people, what I can do with my Cut machine, what I can do with my sublimation machine, what I will be doing with my DTF machine that I will be purchasing with my own money. I don't get donations or memberships. I do have memberships, but do I have members? Shout out to the people that are my members. Shout out to people that's been members, and I haven't given you any recent content. Just know, which I know I have put some there, but I'm just saying maybe it's it's not enough. I don't know. Maybe I need to be more consistent in my videos to get the audience that I used to have, because I have videos where I have 419,000 views, 300 and some thousand views, and these are on full videos, not just a short or something like that. So I'm trying to get myself back in the algorithm, and but yeah, don't let nobody know. And I'm finna stand on business with everything. With the sex offender on here on YouTube that's watching my kids, and the people that's calling my kids' school and posting their school picture and the address and telling people to call, and the people that's talking about should they call CPS. Call CPS for what? Kwame Brown. Yeah, whole ex-NBA player. Like, out of all the comments that are said about you daily, you want to go find and pick out mine. Why? Why, sir? Why are you so... Why? Why are you so obsessed with me? I don't know. Lying, like, for no reason. You know I'm not a scammer. The trips I gave you, you know my business not a scam. The do-it-yourself credit business is based out of Atlanta, Georgia, right here in Georgia. Where you from? Look it up. Shoot, my econ. Look it up. You know that. My travel business, IntelliTravel, based out of Delray Beach, Florida. Their partner, where I'm able to share with others and earn a residual on weekly and monthly, and money when I die, my children will continue to get it. That's Planet Marketing. That's based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Also where you live, sir. Look it up. 10 plus business, in 10 years plus in business, Planet Marketing. And IntelliTravel been in business since the 90s. The first travel home agency that you could do. Like, y'all need to do y'all research, and you knew that. That's why you gave me your entire platform of your 390 something thousand people at the time, because I don't know how many you got now, and I could care less. But that's why you gave me your platform to discuss my business. But did you turn around and tell people it's not a scam? No, you didn't. You just went on and let the pedophile, your favorite person, the sex offender of 18 years, that's your favorite top moderator that you go to Virginia and be in hotels with, on the couches and in hotel balconies with, and going riding go-karts and all that. I would never understand. Sir. You should want me around your kids or around you before you should want him. Not saying that I want to be around you, because no, sir, that's definitely not what I'm saying. The point I'm trying to make is you got the wrong people around you, but then got the nerve to fix your mouth to talk about people. How dare you talk about how many kids I have, sir, when you used to praise me being a mother and being there everywhere with my kids, with my bonus son out of town for college, with my oldest son that got his own apartment when he was 17, credit score 740. He's had at least 7 cars. He's a manager at his one of his jobs now. Still got businesses. He has a YouTube channel that he's growing. Like, what are you talking about? My 16-year-old that also works with his brother's company and in school, doing good. Like, what are you talking about? My 3 amazing daughters who are on the dance team, the reason that we are headed to Atlanta, Georgia now. When the last time you went and supported any of your children at any event that they had? I'll wait. Oh, you didn't even go to your child's graduation because you was mad at the mama. Oh, you didn't go to no more of your daughter's basketball games because she walked past you. Maybe she had to walk past you. Maybe the said come to the locker room first, then go chit chat with family. You don't know what was going on. You just assume because that's what you did that she was trying to be disrespectful because you don't like black women, even though you came from a black woman and all your kids are from black women, but yet you date a white stripper that's been stripping for 35 years. But anyway, you would rather feel that your daughter was disrespecting you by walking past you instead of asking her why did she walk past you. Like, that's I don't understand you. I don't. But then you want to try to fix your boy, sir. You can't talk about me. All my kids are in the car right here. We headed to this amazing competition in Atlanta, Georgia. Come and support them. Hampton High School, sir. Like,
We went there already.
give a donation. Like, y'all, all y'all do is want to talk negative. You used to talk so highly about people with businesses and people with having a trade or all that kind of stuff. Now you try to clown regular working people like it makes no sense. What, Janelle? But I'm done with it wasn't a rant. My reaction to how people that I've only been good to on here before they attack me, of course. Like, all I did was be a moderator and put your information in the chat, sir. Tell people where they could reach you at: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, your merch information, your Cash App, your PayPal, certain quotes, telling people to like your video, telling people to subscribe, telling people to leave nice comments, all that type of stuff. And what did I get in return? Bashed for what? Why? Because I didn't agree with you? Sir, I don't got to agree with everything you say and do. I don't agree with everything my man of almost 14 years say and do. So what makes you think a man that feeding me, financing me, or getting me, I'm going to, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, I thought you knew better, being that you were a Pisces, but I guess you must be that other fish that's swimming downward, because I'm going upward, baby. I'm swimming upstream when it's time to and downstream when it's time. You always just swimming down. I'm sorry, I have ambitions and goals. I didn't come on here and have to lie about anything about me, about my past, about nothing. I came and told my whole life story because that's what I do. I'm always told I give too much information about myself. No, I just give the information. So when you try to go look, because that's what y'all do on here, I don't know whether it's black YouTube, beef YouTube, the mom sector, the conscious sector, the manosphere, the ASMR sector, the mukbang sector, the reaction sector, every sector does this. It doesn't matter where you are. So don't try to, so when y'all try to make it like, oh, it's just over here. No, it's not. They dox everywhere. I saw where Sniper Wolf millions of subscribers. She a reaction person where she pulled up to another subscriber's home and showed his address because she was mad at him because he was showing how all she do was steal people videos, and how she really wasn't reacting to the videos. She would probably have a script written down. Well, her boyfriend, her ex, had exposed, like he had basically write a script for the stuff, so she would just basically be reading the scripts and not actually looking at the videos, reacting to them. Like, that's a whole lot of stuff, and he just exposed the truth. And so she ended up doxing him and doing all kind of stuff, sending her millions of followers against him. The same thing that's getting done to me. So it don't matter what sector that you're in, it gets done. And these were white people, so like I said, it doesn't matter. How much we got? 11 more miles. This traffic is terrible. Janelle, who called you? What she said? Did you tell her we got 11 miles? But traffic going slow. Yeah, we supposed to left last night, but they wanted to have dance practice from 6 to 8. So, me trying to be a good mom, didn't leave. So you could be there and practice with your group. I'm sorry, I got to get some sleep. They got to ride the van, so they didn't have to worry about getting sleep. I had to get sleep. Did they want us to crash to get here? I don't think so. Not risking our life to get here. I'm gonna go the speed limit and a little bit over from time to time. I mean, what? You ain't gonna get there no quicker than you were gonna get there. Anything you gonna get in a wreck trying to rush speed somewhere. Like, just be calm and just drive. And that's what I'm doing. We'll get there. In 11 miles. It's still gonna take the same time, 15 minutes. We're gonna get there. What time the show start? 1 or 12? Do you know? I can't look at the flyer right now. Which I don't know if it said in the group. I had to look somewhere else to even get the address for where we was even going. Stop for some gas. Topped off this morning when we stopped at the gas station. I completely forgot. Even though I had a full tank before, I had to take your brother to Timbuktu to work and then come back and then Janelle to dance practice. Then he picked Zaya up and picked Janelle back up from dance practice. Then to the grocery store. So I used at least miles. What else is going on in this YouTube streets? Okay, we can talk about the Gilbert Arena producer, Celebrity Suge, and the whole Kenyon Martin situation, and the people that sent Kenyon Martin this old video for years, trying to get him to react to it because they're miserable in their own life, trying to get a man fired from his job, a man that has clearly built up his editing skills and producing skills to be able to end up with a job with Gilbert Arenas on the Gilbert Arena show, on the Arena show, the Gil show, whatever the show is called. You know, whatever they decide to. Gil can take that show and go to any network he wants to and have a show. It's not just a YouTube show. I just want y'all to know that. And so basically, a couple of years ago, it may almost be 3 years now, but a couple of years ago, Celebrity Suge, Uncle Suge, George, he was making a video or whatever. He was discussing, the Gil Arena show, whatever, because this was when he was kind of working as far as like, I think maybe he was editing videos for Gil, but he hadn't moved to California yet. I don't even think he had moved to North Carolina yet. I think he was still leaving where he's from in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. And, and a person who is a Gilbert Arenas hater and stalker, Carcino, who don't know nothing about basketball, so I don't understand why everybody feel like he the god of basketball. He can just, whatever he say, I forgot, Kwame Brown only feels that way. Anything that he say about basketball is God, gold, when this man don't even play basketball, ain't never played a basketball. His stomach looks like a basketball, but he haven't played basketball. But anyway, I digress. I don't gotta, name calling nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, he wrote a comment, or he was reviewing a video, or he was saying like Kenyon Martin should run the show. He should basically take over for Gil. He should run the show. He's the best person ever. Kind of trying to throw a dig at Gil, who is the creator of the show, the person who, if it wasn't for Gil, they wouldn't have the contracts with whoever. They wouldn't have the contracts with whoever they got it with, Underdog, or whoever is paying them, So he was basically standing up for his future employer, or maybe he's on contract then, and basically saying like, what? How you talking about somebody else is better than the creator of the show? Kenyon, he stutters, and the reason that he said Dudder Man is because I think he had actually heard someone say that before, and he actually asked Gilbert, like, why do they call him the Dudder Man or the Stutter Man? And Gilbert obviously told him because he has a stutter, or he used to stutter, whatever. Okay, all jokes that people used to make as a kid against each other. But anyway, we want to be sensitive NBA #1 draft picks, it seemed like. So, was it right? No. But I'm saying, like, he wasn't really he didn't know you at the time. He didn't know that he was going to be working with you on the Gilbert Arena show. He didn't know these things. But anyway, like I said, what he said, was it right? No. But at the same time, he said this a long time ago. So anyway, so that's what Suge said. And so for years, Kwame Brown and Carcino have been trying to get Kenyon Martin, Kmart, to respond to this video that Suge said or whatever. So 2 years ago, when Suge officially moved to California or whatever, because like I said, he moved to North Carolina first. He was working for Gil, and then he moved to LA, and I think he had his second house in LA now, maybe even third, don't quote me, but shout out to Suge. But anyway, so because I've seen his growth as far as, I didn't know him back when he was in the beef with Taz and Nyla, but I'm gonna talk on that, or when he was in the beef with the black sector, whatever they called him. When he was in that with all those people over there, the Cynthia G's, all those people. But listening to his reactions and his reviews, because his reviews he has documentaries or videos where he put together from where a situation started and tracking it. So if you didn't know about the situation, you definitely gonna know from tracking, watching these videos. And that's why I've learned, you know, hearing what people have said about his children, even though they say they would never speak on children, or what people have said about him, calling him a sexual offender, whatever, or a pedophile, whatever, you know, anyway. And anyway, we can talk about that at another time. But anyway, yeah, saying these names about him because I think he was 18 and the girl he got pregnant was 15, but like he didn't know she was at a club. She lied about her age, had fake ID. You know, her parents even confirmed this and all this. So she even confirmed it, I think. So, you know, of course, you know, when you get older, of course, baby mamas and baby daddies always have drama. Who hasn't? I done had dramas with my baby daddy. So what I'm saying is, she probably done said some things about him, you know, being a deadbeat. He probably done said some things about, like, you know, that those things happen. So, but anyway, so, Kenyon Martin, when Suge finally, you know, moved to LA or whatever, and then Gil announced, you know, Kenyon Martin was gonna be on the show. So Suge told Gil about that, or Gil knew about it. So he basically, you know, telling Suge, you know, like, well, you're gonna have to address that, you know, basically, you know, like, be a man, stand on what you said. Which Suge is a man that'll stand on what he said. I know this because I've seen him do it. And so he basically went to Kenyon Martin and tried to express his apologies and tried to tell Kenyon Martin actually verbatim what he said, you know, even years ago. And Kenyon Martin was just like, you know, brush it off, you know, I don't care about all, you know, all that, whatever, which obviously he does care. So he brushed it off, he didn't care or whatever. So here we are now. I saw a text where Carcino had texted Kenyon Martin maybe February the 13th, telling him about the video, sending him the video, and then I think Kwame Brown has since again sent the video again. And so Kenyon Martin finally decided to pay attention to the video. So he paid attention to the video and decided to confront Suge, who the Gilbert Arena show, live on the Gilbert Arena show instead of on his own Instagram, on his own YouTube channel or whatever, because Suge did it on his own channel, on his own little channel. You know, even if it was a big channel, it don't matter. He did it on his own channel, so you could have done it on your own channel, not on the works dime, is what I feel. You did this at the job, which can cost all y'all contract and all y'all, you know, the money. Not just Suge, but you, Gil, what's the other, Josiah, I don't know everybody's names, PD, like I'm learning these names just, you know, from this and being around Gil and, you know, having, you know, talking to Gil, you know, whatever, you know, but anyway, and, you know, he called him out and like, you know, explain this video to me. First of all, he acting like he's daddy. That's what you, first of all, like, sir, who are you? You are a grown man just like me, you bleed just like me. You talking about, sir, explain this video, you know, whatever. And so he started playing the video, and then Suge say basically like, you know, like, we talked about that, and he like, we ain't talk about shit. So that right there let me know, like, oh, he got an attitude. He not trying to handle this in a manly way right now, because, you know, we ain't talk about shit. So y'all, We'll continue in just a moment. Hold on. Alright, y'all. I'm back. I had to stop and get some gas. So back to what we were saying. So, you know, so he brushed it off. He didn't want to hear it. Then he finally got the video. He wanted to confront him about it. And so he was like, so, because what he started off is basically like, you know, I done had this man in my home, and this is the type of, actually, I screen recorded it. He was like, you had these type of people, this, that's why you got to watch who you have in your home, you know, disloyal people, whatever. You'll have people in your home and they talk about you behind your back, you know, whatever. So you'll be thinking like, dang, this man invited this man to his house, Thanksgiving 2 years in a row, gave him work. Because I ain't going to say you just put money in his pocket like how you tried to make it seem. Like, I'm going to say he did work for you and he was paid for that work. Like, I hate when people try to make it be like, I gave you money or I fed you or whatever. You say, well, I paid you for that food, or I did work for you. Then you didn't just give me anything. I worked for that. So, you know, I think I got it. All right, yeah. What? Hey. What's not playing?
People, man, they did a good job working to put this together. When we was at your crib, people was always respectful and shit was always running smoothly and good times, right? So you get to know upstanding people, man. They did a good job working to put this together. When we was at your crib, people was always respectful and shit was always running smoothly and upstanding people, man. They did a good job working to put this together. When we was at your crib, people was always respectful and shit was always running smoothly and good time.
Hello? Hello?
and shit was always running smoothly and good times, right? So you get to know people and you treat people a certain way, right? And I've always tried to be that, right? Treat people how I would expect to be treated, with respect. I've vowed over years to meet the same energy as people give me, and do more because of how I can come across, right? Which I know me, trying to get better over time, and how my tone with people in situations. So something recently was brought to my attention, right? That one of the people that works here that we see daily, and I brought this person into my home, right? I had this person around my wife, my kids, right? Treat them nothing but respect, right? That's it. And this is a loyalty situation. I want people to, with their kids, right? Teaching situation. When people tell you be careful who you bring into your inner circle, be careful who you bring into your home, this is this situation that I'm speaking of right now. Hey, Sugar.
We 5 miles away.
Come here.
All right, y'all, here we go.
You want this? Huh? No, I don't need the mask. Kill a nigga. So I need you to do some explaining to me, brother.
Here we go, what?
Like he his
No, I don't need a
daddy.
mic.
I need you to do some explaining to me, brother. Like, who are you?
So,
A worker on the show.
can you explain?
And I haven't heard a
This video
stutter
to me.
yet. So when does he stutter? So if you still insecure about a stutter that you
No,
no
we didn't
longer
talk about
have,
shit.
sir, I need you to grow up. You
No, you tried to apologize.
know what I mean? Let me
So,
rewind a little bit.
so there's it in here. Let me replay it for her. So when I brought you into my home, this how you felt? Huh? No, but so this how you felt when I brought you into my home and had you around my wife and kids? So what did you go out your way when someone is showing me love in the moment? You go out your way to disrespect me.
How he go out his way to disrespect you when this happened 2 years ago?
Disrespectful. When that's something that I've stated time and time again on this couch. Sensitive subject, huh?
This happened
Sensitive
before
subject,
you were sitting
right?
on
I
the
drew a
couch,
line in the
so he
sand a
wouldn't
long
have
time
known
ago.
that, sir.
There's no apology ever that, as an adult, that I would accept.
Stuttering Stanley, Stuttering Stanley, Stuttering Stanley. Don't y'all remember they said that on what day? What was it on?
I blew you off because I didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, that's your
That's
fault.
the situation.
That's
Yes or
your
no?
fault. You blew it off. You
So
didn't care.
therefore,
So why do you
because I
care
didn't know what you
now?
was talking about, it didn't matter.
Sent you the video.
No,
Oh,
you
so
did
then
not.
you
I didn't
didn't
see the
care, so
video.
you
Someone
don't care
else did.
now. You're just trying to make a scene
Didn't
on
see the
somebody's
video
show that
until
ain't
2 weeks
yours.
ago. First time ever seeing that. Had I saw it back then, we would have been had this conversation.
Oh, and what
Do you
would have
think
happened then? He still would have been the
But so
editor.
you apologize because you realize it was
He still would have been working for Gil.
because like you've been in my home around my wife and kids. I fed you, put money in your pocket. Did I not? Or did I not, dog? No, you did, but did I
Like
put
he
money
said,
in
he
your pocket?
did work for
didn't
you,
do
sir.
for pay, right?
Like you act like he did
Right.
something for free.
Did you
Okay?
not come
It's
into
just
my
like
home? No, did you not come into my
employer.
home?
An employee
Multiple
does work
times
for
you didn't
them.
know no one was out
And they
here,
get
right?
paid. People
You
ain't
didn't
doing
have
shit
no
for
one
free.
go
You
for
didn't
Thanksgiving. Did I not
just
invite
give
you
him
home?
money for free. So quit it seem like that.
Yes.
And this is things that you did.
Apology too, right?
But That apology is null and void is what you don't understand, dog. If I knew about it then, I wouldn't accept your apology like I didn't then.
You didn't accept the apology.
I
That's
didn't.
the
I
whole
blew you
point.
off. I said, yes, whatever, dog, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about.
And that's not
That's the
his
situation.
fault that you blew him off.
So this is what disloyalty
Okay, I'ma react to
and people who don't respect you look like, y'all.
No, it's not
People
what
like
they
this.
look like. No, it's
Be
not.
careful who you invite into your home.
Yeah, he needs to
Who
be
you have
careful with
around
you.
your loved ones
You
and
the
your
problem.
friends and family. This is what you get. People like this.
No, sir.
That talk about something that's near and dear to my heart.
Near and
I have
dear.
a speech impediment.
I haven't
that
heard a
everybody
speech
knows how I feel
impediment
about this.
yet. I haven't heard a stutter yet.
People that don't have a voice, they to speak up for themselves. This is what this is about.
Well, I
You
ain't
don't
heard
tease
it yet.
something of someone I have no control over and think it's okay. I don't.
Where
want, no.
is the stutter,
This
though?
Is, you did it in front of. Did you not do it in front of people? Did you not do it in front of people? Did you
Yeah,
not
he did in front
do
of
it
his
in front
audience of
people is
50
my
people.
question.
Maybe 100. And here you are in
So
front
therefore, you want me
of
to do it
hundreds
in
of
public,
thousands of
private?
people,
No,
millions
I
of
said
people.
I was the same energy, brother.
This went to the
Same
New York
energy.
Post.
So, same energy. Oh, I'm absolutely. You did it in front of people, I'm going to do it in front of people. Point
Absolutely
blank.
embarrassed yourself as a
I
number
don't
one
want your
NBA.
apology.
See,
Once
that's
again,
what
brother.
happens.
Once again, I don't want
Y'all
your
get the
apology.
big head.
So what you want from me?
Nothing to ever be in my presence ever again.
Get your
Well,
ass
don't know
out
how
of
that's
here.
going to happen because he works
Not
for
ever
the
be in my
show.
presence ever again is what I want. But with that, appreciate you letting out the floor, Josiah.
He didn't even
Oh, yeah,
have
you on the
give you the
two
flow. They didn't even know you
You
was
don't
going to do this. Embarrassing. Okay, so what I want to first say is, this is not what disloyalty look like. Because first of all, he said those things about you almost 3 years ago, 2 years ago, when he didn't even know you. And again, he was standing up for his boss when a hater of his boss is trying to come and down his boss as being the host of the show, like he ain't good enough to be the host. First of all. Second of all, when he did encounter you when he moved to LA and Gil put you as one of the host people, then he knew that he needed to apologize because he finna be around you. It's not his fault that you decided to brush it off and say, oh, you didn't care, you didn't want to hear it. He tried to apologize. He tried to. Hello? Why do you keep saying answer by another call? Hello? May not be the area. This may be football. Probably should have went on around there. Y'all need to be looking around for cars. Y'all just watching me drive. Girl, I'm saying watching for areas where you see cars at, and clearly this not it. Is the point I was trying to make.
The car's leaning like it's about to tip over.
Is it?
Yeah, because on my side I'm leaning like it's about to tip over.
You need to tighten up your car seat. That don't got nothing to do with the car, sir. Nah, we was at the middle school.
I think that big black van is Steve.
right, y'all. We have made it to the dance competition, and the girls are in there.
Mama.
Me and Shiloh is in the car. I don't know what time it started. I'm finna find out, but I'm finna let my phone charge soon, and I'll be back. Until next time, Mom Boss Mayo is signing out. Peace out.
Mama, did you know that, you know, when we was at that hotel with that Nissan that Nissan Altima? Steven had a bigger van than that.
Yeah, he did.
It was big like this. So the whole team could fit.
Oh, did I finish what we was talking about? Okay, let me think. So then, yeah, okay, so he just called him out there, whatever. First of all, this happened 2 years ago. He tried to apologize. You brushed it off. It's not his fault that you decided to brush it off. And now, since Kwame Brown and Carcino pressuring you to listen to it, and maybe some other people, and now you felt like you had to address it on there. I'm not saying don't address it publicly. I mean, he did mock you publicly, but you could have did that on your own platform and not on the Gil Arenas platform. That's all. That's all. And then I didn't hear a stutter the entire time that you was talking to Suge. So where is the stutter at? And congratulations if you no longer have that stutter. So now he's not mocking you because you don't stutter. Obviously, like I didn't hear you stumble over one word that entire debacle with Suge. I didn't hear you stutter at all. So I just feel like that you was in your feelings. And Mama, I don't know, maybe it's a number one NBA draft pick thing because Kwame Brown being his feelings all the time. You and your, I don't know. But I am going to address Kwame Brown soon. He just said something to me yesterday. Somebody was like, Kwame Brown is so intellectual. I was like, you joking, right? I was like, I used to think that too. Out of all the comments, he find my comment and try to come and say something. I hope you get over the hurt. No, sir. I hope you first. You get over the hurt first, sir. Because you still been talking about me and I've said nothing about you. And in the minute I speak up about something that you did, now I'm harassing you. I need to get over my hurt. No, sir. You need to get over your hurt. Because you're the one that's hurt. And I don't know you. You don't know me. I ain't never met you. You ain't never met me. All I did was be a great moderator for you. And you didn't want that. So it's fine. We good. But I am going to talk about my experience being your moderator, my experience talking about my business, my experience with Biz on your channel, my experience with your minions, your Quamites attacking me because I didn't agree with you. I'm going to speak on all that at my time when I want to. You're not going to tell me it was 3 years ago. I'm going to speak on it regardless because I care now. I just haven't been able to just fully speak on it the way I want to speak on it. But this going to be the year, sir. So y'all stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'm out of here.